redecorating in our house, and we're thinking about putting some stripes on the wall, but we're not too sure how to do it so the colors don't bleed through. Do you have a tip for that?
Sure, I have a tip for you. What I have here is a piece of drywall that we're going to use as a sample.
Okay.
First step is to paint the base color. In this case, the base color is white. On raw drywall, I probably would prime the surface first and then come back with at least 2 coats of the base color.
Now what's the drying time in between that?
Well, you need to read the can on the paint. The drying time should be about 1 hour to 2 hours, but when you're painting stripes, I probably would let the surface dry a good 4 hours before I put the next coat on.
All right.
Okay. After you have the base coat on, then you're going to come in with your painter's tape, and you are going to define the area that you want to either stripe or zone.
Right, so that's why you put the tape there.
That's why I put the tape there. The key step in preventing the bleeding is to come back with the base color and paint over the blue tape as such.
Okay, so you're painting over the blue portion of the tape.
I'm painting over the edge, the defining edge of where you're gonna come in with your new zone or your stripe.
Okay.
So when you do this, you hope that any bleeding is gonna be
protected by that paint.
Protected by this paint, so that when you come back in with the top color, hopefully it will not bleed through.
Okay, Kevin, so now that the base coat has dried, what are we gonna do next?
We're gonna come back with the top coat and we're gonna paint it over where the base coat has dried on the tape.
Okay.
And I'm using a dark color.
Okay.
So you probably are gonna have to come back with at least another coat or 2. And you're just gonna continue.
And you're gonna let that dry, each coat dry in between, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna let each coat dry, for several hours before I come back and put another coat on.
Okay. So if all has gone well and you followed the steps accordingly, we're gonna try and pull the tape now to see what it looks like.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the tape, and as if you notice, I'm pulling away from the stripe.
Wow, that is a really clean line. Look, there's no sign of any other color or bleed through.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you're gonna have to come back through with a brush and do some touch-up, which can be time consuming, and you're not gonna get a clean, sharp line.
Now, how long does this process usually take start to finish?
I would say that you could get this all done in a weekend.
All right.
Because you really do need to allow the time for the dry time.
And it really does make a nice effect.
Okay.
All right, well, join us next time when we'll have another great tip.